coming up with the victory 12-7. And Galen got the lead early in the top half of the fourth, put up one run. Then they put up 6 runs in the top half of the fifth. Then South O'Brien got another run back there. And then in the top half of the fifth inning, they put up 6 runs. South O'Brien got another one back. Sixth inning, another 5 runs, and then 6 in the bottom of the sixth. Final score was 12-7. So Lamar's Galen will face the winner here between Remsen St. Mary's and Hartley Melvin Sanborn. And you talk about, this Remsen St. Mary's team, as you know, 15-0 this season and number 1 in the War Eagle Conference. And, Joe, that says a lot, as there's a lot of tough baseball within the War Eagle.
Oh, no doubt about it. And here are the final standings in the War Eagle. Remsen St. Mary's 10-0, West Sioux 8-1, Hinton 7-2, Trinity Christian 5-5, Akron Westfield 4-4, Unity Christian 4-5, Harris Lake Park 4-5, South O'Brien and MMCRU 2-7, Galen Catholic, because they had to spend a couple weeks in quarantine because of COVID-19, was 1-2. And Hartley Melvin Sanborn, as we mentioned, is 0-9. Hartley Melvin Sanborn so far this season lost to West Sioux 22-3, lost to Harris Lake Park 2-0, lost to Unity Christian 14-2, lost to Trinity Christian 12-2, lost to South O'Brien 3-1, lost to Akron Westfield 17-1, lost to South O'Brien 10-1, defeated George Little Rock 3-1. Lost to Hinton 14-0. Lost to Remsen St. Mary's this past Monday in Hartley 11-0. And then on Tuesday, defeated West Bend Mallard 6-3. And then lost to MMCRU on Wednesday by the score of 7-6. Obviously, Remsen St. Mary's with their 15-0 record. Well, they do have double-digit scores, but there have been some nail-biters. They beat South O'Brien 10-6, Hinton 6-2, had their game with Newell Fonda canceled, beat Harris Lake Park 11-0, Trinity Christian 9-0, West Sioux 7-3 in a game that they came back from a deficit. They defeated Sioux Central 10-0, West Sioux 13-3, West Lyon 11-0, Unity Christian 3-2, MMCRU 15-2, Woodbury Central 2-1. Defeated Akron Westfield 10-0. Hartley Melvin Sanborn 11-0, as we mentioned on Monday in Hartley. Beat Spirit Lake 10-0. And then on Wednesday night from Fuller Digital Solutions, rallied to beat Galen Catholic by the score of 7-3.
And, Joe, I think it was a good thing that, Lamar's Galen kind of gave Remsen St. Mary's a test there at the end of the regular season because, yeah, it's nice to go to the season undefeated, but it's nice to have a good, tough game that kind of puts a little bit of pressure on you heading into the postseason just to make sure you're playing your best baseball of the year.
Well, Coach Harpenow told me after the game, he says, Galen Catholic always gives us the battle, and B, they don't play well in Lamar's. But, not looking ahead, but with Galen Catholic beating South O'Brien 12-7, the winner of this game between St. Mary's and Hartley Melvin Sanborn will meet here in Remsen Tuesday night at 7. Over on the other side of the bracket in Akron at Akron Westfield, Trinity Christian has beaten MMCRU 6-2, so that means Akron Westfield and George Little Rock will play. The winner of Akron Westfield, George Little Rock, will play Trinity Christian Tuesday night in Akron at 7. But again, the winner of this game between Remsen St. Mary's and Hartley Melvin Sanborn gets Galen Catholic Tuesday at 7 o'clock. And we'll kind of hold off what might happen until after this game comes up. Let's bring you the starting lineups. First of all, for Hartley Melvin Sanborn, again, 2-10, 0-9 in the War Eagle Conference. Their head coach is Jeremy Gloden. He's assisted by Corey Ebel, who's a former football player at the University of South Dakota, as he goes, Joe Van Gore, I know that name. And also the other assistant for Hartley Melvin Sanborn is Turney Hine. Leading off for the Hawks and playing shortstop, Keaton Graves. Batting second is the first baseman, Sam Hawk, and batting third, the pitcher, Sam Hine. Batting cleanup for Hartley Melvin Sanborn, Dawson Skipoff. Batting fifth, the catcher, Cooper Ebel, Coach Ebel's son. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Jordan Ortega. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Trenton Bolick. Batting eighth is the second baseman, Ben Hawk. And batting ninth is the third baseman, Nick Bronstad. Also in the field, the right fielder is Keith DeBoer. For Remsen St. Mary's, again, 15-0, 10-0 in the War Eagle Conference, War Eagle Conference champions. They're coached by Dean Harpenow, assisted by Tyler Delperdang and Brady Harpenow. Leading off and playing third is Spencer Shorg. Batting second is the shortstop Blake Harpenow, and Blaine Harpenow, I should say. And batting third is the catcher Skylar Waldschmidt. Batting cleanup for the Hawks of St. Mary's is Jackson Bunkers, playing right field. Batting fifth, the left fielder Xavier Gallus. Batting sixth, the center fielder Jeremy Koink. Batting seventh, the pitcher Carter Shorg. Batting eighth, the first baseman Brady Homan. And batting ninth is the second baseman Levi Waldschmidt. Here's Remsen St. Mary's defensively. Xavier Gallus in left, Jeremy Koink in center, Jackson Bunkers in right. Around the horn, Spencer Shorg at third, Blaine Harpenow at short, Levi Waldschmidt at second, and Brady Homan at first. The battery of Skylar Waldschmidt, the catcher, and right-handed throwing number one, Carter Shorg, on the hill for Remsen St. Mary's. And, folks, we are about ready to go, about 31 minutes late here on this Saturday night at Thielen Memorial Field. Here's Shorg to the line in the first pitch of the game. Missing for ball one. First pitch time is 7:31. Sunny, 81 degrees in Remsen with a northwest wind at 9. Here's a swing and a miss, and the count is 1-1 strike to Keaton Graves. To lead it off, the shortstop, left-handed hitter wearing number 27, batting .344, no home runs, 5 RBIs. And the pitch missing for ball 2, 2-1 the count. Again, these two teams met Monday in Hartley, with Remsen St. Mary's winning 11-0 in 5 innings. Here's the 2-1, and that misses for ball 3, 3-1 the count. Carter Shorg on the hill, his fourth game and fourth start. He's 3-0 with an ERA of 0.00, no earned runs. There's a swing and a miss by Graves, and the count now full at 3-2 strikes. Shorg has given up 7 hits, 2 runs, none earned, striking out 21, walking 3, and hitting none. And the payoff pitch, swing and a foul back, and we'll do it again at 3-2. So again, just underway, about a half hour late, again in our first game on Classic Hits KCHE and Fuller Digital Solutions. Galen Catholic over South O'Brien, 12-7. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Foul tip into the mitt of Skylar Waldschmidt. So there's 1 up and 1 down for the Hawks. Now, with both teams named the Hawks, please bear with us.
The Hawks are going to win.
Somebody's going to win. First strikeout of the game for Carter Shorg of St. Mary's. Here comes the number 2 batter for HMS, Sam Hawk, the first baseman. Right-handed hitter wearing number 29. He will take a strike, and it's 0-1.
Beautiful curveball to start the at-bat.
Yep. For Sam, he's batting .172, no home runs, 3 RBIs. Ground ball to Harpenow, and he will get it to first, and it is in time. Great recovery by Blaine Harpenow at short. Knocked it down, got it to Brady Homan. Quickly 2 up and 2 down, Keith.
It's a nice luxury when your shortstop, when he's pitching on the mound, throws just about 90 miles an hour. He can afford to bobble it just a little bit.
Well, he did have 2 big errors against Galen Catholic on Wednesday night that contributed to Galen Catholic tying it in the bottom of the 7th and sending it to extras. And here is Sam Hine, the pitcher, right-handed hitter wearing number 5. He is batting .323, no home runs, 4 RBIs. 2 down, bases empty here in the HMS first. And here's a ground ball to second. Levi Waldschmidt with it over to first in time. A 1-2-3 inning for Carter Shorg and the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. So nothing across. We go to the bottom of the first inning. You're listening to Remsen St. Mary's Playoff Baseball on Classic Hits KCHE and Fuller Digital Solutions.
TV and phone at your home and business?
Let's go a minute.
You should buy
Yeah,
from a
yeah, we'll be
leader
fine.
in the
Yeah, okay.
industry. West South Systems is on the cutting edge of today's latest technologies. You pick your
He never put
bundle.
them in?
You need internet, TV, and phone. You need internet and phone only, or internet and TV only. Call West South Systems today to find the bundle that fits your needs. West South Systems is connecting you to the world. Find out more by calling them today or going to their website at westsouthsystems.com.
A complex system of bones, joints, ligaments, and tendons choreographs every movement throughout your day. Where you get care for your body matters. Spencer is experienced team at Floyd Valley Healthcare. For technology...
Trying to think. I think Remsen St. Mary's won it in 2016.
From sports medicine to
State championship, Class 1A.
Knee, hip, or shoulder replacement.
And they've gone back every year
Floyd
since.
Valley Health keeps your complex systems working for you. Floyd Valley Healthcare, your community, your health, your life.
We go to the bottom of the first inning. No score between Hartley Melvin Sanborn and Remsen St. Mary's in the Class 1A District 1 baseball tournament here at Thielen Memorial Field in Remsen. Here's Hartley Melvin Sanborn defensively. Jordan Ortega in left. Dawson Skipoff in center. Keith DeBoer in right. Around the horn, Nick Bronstadt at third. Keaton Graves at short. Ben Hawk at second and Sam Hawk at first. The battery of Cooper Ebel, the catcher, and right-handed throwing number 5, Sam Hine on the hill for Hartley Melvin Sanborn. This is his 5th game and 5th start. He's 2-2, 21 2/3 innings pitched with an ERA of 1.94, 13 hits, 11 runs, 6 earned. He struck out 23, walked 9, and hit none. And leading off for Remsen St. Mary's will be Spencer Short, the third baseman, right-handed hitter, wearing number 10. Batting .227, 1 home run, 12 RBIs. So Hine to the line, and the first pitch of the bottom of the first is upstairs for ball 1.
Carter Shorg is senior, ended his basketball career just 20 points shy of the all-time leading scorer at Remsen St. Mary's High School.
Here's the 1-0. That's upstairs, ball 2, 2-0 the count. So the trivia question then is, Keith, who is the all-time leading scorer at Remsen St. Mary's?
Would have been Nick Rudin, who graduated about 2 years before Carter Shorg.
There you go. 2 balls, no strikes to Shorg leading off. Blaine Harpino waiting on deck, and here's a pitch that somehow ended up behind the head of Spencer Shorg. And the count now 3 balls and no strikes.
I was going to say, I said Carter, but it's Spencer. There's a Spencer and a Carter Shorg.
That's right. 3-0. There's a strike, and the count 3 balls and 1 strike. Our umpires tonight, Jared Rahi and Mike Sonnen, as assigned by the Iowa High School Activities Association, or Athletic Association, I'm sorry. Here's a swing and a drive left field. Jordan Ortega going back, and this one is off the fence for extra bases. Motoring into second with a stand-up double for Remsen St. Mary's is Spencer Shorg. So Remsen St. Mary's right off the bat with a runner at second and nobody out with a double by Shorg, and here comes Blaine Harpino, the shortstop, right-handed hitter wearing number 14. He's batting .300. 1 home run, 11 RBIs.
And he's been pretty hot at the plate, has raised his average about 80 points over the last week.
And the pitch upstairs for ball 1. Now, you were telling me a story, Keith, before we went on about, a certain first baseman for Remsen St. Mary's that hasn't been in the lineup since the 4th of July.
Yeah, Braden Rickey had an accident with a Roman candle, so he's going to be sitting out and talking with Coach Dean Harpinow. Might be out for the remainder of the season.
Here's the 1-0. In for a strike at the knees on the corner, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. And as we were talking, that's hopefully he can come back later on in the postseason.
Yeah.
He's a senior, and I'm sure he's definitely hoping he can come back.
Yeah, and he's a very important player on this ball club here for St. Mary's.
So Spencer Shorg at second with nobody out in the bottom of the first with no score from Remsen. Count is 1-1 to Blaine Harpino. Here's a swing and a pop-up. Easy play for Sam Hine, and there's one away. Harpino pops up to the pitcher in front of the mound for out number 1. It brings up the number 3 batter, the catcher Skylar Waldschmidt, a right-handed hitter wearing number 20. Batting .375, no home runs. and 12 RBIs.
He's been a 4-year starter behind the plate for the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks.
And you know what? He's not bad as a relief pitcher as well. Got the win in relief over Galen Catholic Wednesday night in Lamar's.
He can get it done.
Yes, he can. And he also got the win at West Sioux when Remsen St. Mary's came back in that game. So he is really an indispensable player for Remsen St. Mary's as well. Count is 1-0 to Skylar Waldschmidt. Jackson Bunkers, the cleanup batter, and the right fielder waiting on deck. Here's a pitch missing high, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. So Hine looking into Ebel for the sign. We'll check Shorg at second, and the 2-0, swing and a drive, and that one is hooking foul.
Ooh, probably by about a foot and a half. That would have been trouble because Skylar is pretty quick. Probably would have been good for about 3 bags and would have definitely scored.
I would say probably a foot and 3 inches. How about that? And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Skylar Waldschmidt. Hine working from the stretch with the runner at second. And the pitch. Off the glove of Cooper Ebel and heading to third. On a pass ball will be Shorg. So a runner at third with nobody out for Remsen St. Mary's in the bottom of the first with no score. And the count 3 balls and 1 strike to Skylar Waldschmidt. And the last thing that Hartley Melvin Sanborn can't afford is to get behind early in this game. The 3-1, ball 4, he walked him.
And Skylar Waldschmidt, like I said, a 4-year starter. And before that, it was Brady Harpenau. Blaine's older brother was a 4-year starter as catcher. So anytime at the high school level, if you can have 2 catchers over the span of 8 years, that just means you a very solid program.
Noah Schrader will run for Skylar Waldschmidt, the catcher, at first for Remsen St. Mary's. That is the 10th walk given up by Sam Hine of HMS, and it brings up the cleanup batter, the right fielder Jackson Bunkers, left-handed hitter wearing number 13. Batting .368, no home runs, 14 RBIs. He is just 2 behind Jeremy Klink for the RBI lead for St. Mary's. The pitch with the runner going. And now 2 in scoring position. Defensive indifference or a stolen base? We had this debate in game number 1.
We'll give Noah the stolen base there.
All right. So 0-1 the count. Now Hine from the full windup with runners at second and third in the 0-1. That's in for a strike, and it's 0-2.
And Jackson Bunkers at the plate, just a freshman, but last year played a lot of varsity time at the 8th grade level and looked like he belonged out there as an 8th grader. Don't see that very often.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. High for ball 1, 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, and runners at second and third for Remsen St. Mary's, scoreless here in the bottom of the first inning here in the Class 1A District 1 baseball tournament at Thielen Memorial Field. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip into the mid of Cooper Ebel. Jackson Bunkers is the second out of the inning and the first strikeout for Sam Hine. So Hine now with 24 strikeouts on the season. Here comes the number 5 hitter, the left fielder Xavier Gallus, right-handed hitter wearing number 33. Gallus batting .318 with no home runs, 10 RBIs in the pitch. Missing for ball 1. Again, Galen Catholic in the first game of the double hitter here in Remsen beat South O'Brien 12-7. And over in Akron, Trinity Christian beat MMCRU 6-2. Here's a ball and a good block behind the dish by Cooper Ebel. And the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Hine ready. And the 2-0. Swing and a drive into center field that will fall in front of the center fielder for a 2-out, 2-run single. And Remsen St. Mary's with a 2-0 lead. Xavier Gallus with a solid single to center to score 2 as Spencer Shorg and Noah Schrader will score to make it 2-0. That is the second hit of the inning and of the game for St. Mary's. Here comes Jeremy Koink, the center fielder, right-handed hitter wearing number 21. He is batting .342, no home runs, and leads the team in RBIs with 16.
And he's another standout athlete here for Remsen St. Mary's. Was a tailback in football, rushed over 1,000 yards on a team that finished in the quarterfinals, and they lost to Audubon.
And the pitch high. The count is 2-0 to Jeremy Koink. So 2 down with a runner at first and 2 in. Remsen St. Mary's with a 2-0 lead over HMS here in the bottom of the first inning. There goes the runner, swinging a drive right to the left fielder, but it falls in front of Ortega for a 2-out base hit. Gallus was on the run, but Koink hits it to left center for a single. That is the third hit of the inning for Remsen St. Mary's. Here comes the number 7 batter, the pitcher Carter Shorg, right-handed hitter wearing number 1. Carter batting .435, no home runs, 6 RBIs. So runners at first and second with 2 down and 2 in. Hine will go back to the stretch with runners at first and second in the pitch. In for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Nice curveball there.
If Carter Shorg should find a place to put it, Brady Homan, the first baseman, would be next. A check of the runners by Hine. The 0-1 outside, and another nice stop by Ebel behind the plate, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike.
On those back-to-back hits, it seemed like the HMS outfielders were maybe a little bit hesitant to dive forward to get that ball because you don't want it getting by you, but also, with 2 outs, you maybe have to take that chance to make a diving play.
Here's the 1-1 pitch, and a bender for a strike, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on, 2 in. Remsen St. Mary's over HMS 2-0 here in the bottom of the first. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a bouncer, and it will go foul. It hit the lip of the grass just in front of third and just went foul. Otherwise, that might have been a tough play for Nick Bronstadt at third to make.
The good news for him is there was a runner at second, so he could have stepped on the bag.
That's true.
In all reality, I think that was just a defensive swing for Carter Short just to stay alive at bat here.
So still 1-2 with 2 outs, 2 on, and 2 in. Hawks lead the Hawks 2-0. That's the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks 2-0. Here's a ground ball to short. Graves has it. Throw to second, and it is dropped. Everybody is safe.
I'm not sure that would have been in time if it would have been caught. It would have been really close.
Yep. It was a bang-bang play, and unfortunately that will be an error. Gallus goes to third. Koink to second. He will reach second on the drop ball by the second baseman, Ben Hawk. So Carter Shorg is on a fielder's choice, and here's Brady Homan batting 8th, the first baseman. Right-handed hitter wearing number 16, batting .233. 3 home runs to lead the St. Mary's Hawks and 11 RBIs. Here's a pitch high for ball 1. He is the 8th man to bat in this inning for St. Mary's.
Last tournament season last summer, I did see Brady put one right out over right center field. Nice long hit.
The 1-0 missing for ball 2. 2-0 the count. The dimensions here at Thielen Memorial Field. 323 down the left field line, 345 down the right, and 360 to straightaway center. Here's the 2-0. That's in for a strike, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Levi Waldschmidt, the Remsen St. Mary's second baseman and number 9 hitter, would be next. Hine with the 2-1 pitch, swing and a foul. And now for the first time tonight, a round of 2s. You'll hear me say this often, Keith, with a round of 2s, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 3 on, 2 in. Remsen St. Mary's leading 2-0 in the bottom of the first. Hine looking to end the inning here. And the 2-2 pitch. Curve up high, full count, and with the Remsen St. Mary's Hawk at every base, it'll be traveling time.
Going on the pitch.
So there go the runners, and the 3-2 pitch, swing and a foul going to the left. And Pertnier got a fan, but she got out of the way at the last moment. It's not a souvenir.
You've got to give that back.
You got to give that back, and it's still 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And more importantly, it needs to be sanitized before it gets back into play.
Well, actually, from what I understand, you're not even supposed to touch it.
Yeah, if they touch it, then they have to sanitize it.
Right, yep. So still 3 balls and 2 strikes to Homan in the 3-out pitch, and right through the wicket at first. 1 run will score, 2 runs will score, runner will hold at third. Sam Hawk, I think you have to give him the hard luck error because that's a play he could have made. So Xavier Galla scores from third. Jeremy Koink scores from second to make it 4-0. Carter Shorg will end up at third. Holman is on an error on the first baseman, Sam Hawk. And here's Levi Waldschmidt as Remsen St. Mary's is batted around here in the bottom of the first, leading 4-0. Levi, the second baseman, right-handed hitter wearing number 2, batting .217, no home runs, 3 RBIs in the pitch, missing low for ball 1.
That ball hit by Homan almost seemed like it may have went right through the webbing of his glove almost, because
Yeah,
I heard it hit the glove.
I mean, he had a good look at it and just went right through the wicket, and unfortunately, that's an error. The 1-0 in for a strike, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike to Levi Waldschmidt. Again, Remsen St. Mary's has batted around, scoring 4 times. 4-0 here in the bottom of the first. There's a strike, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, runners at the corners, 4 in. 4-0 Remsen St. Mary's here in the bottom of the first. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a pop-up. Who wants it? Shortstop Keaton Graves will give way to second baseman Ben Hawk, who will drop the ball. Everybody is safe. Carter Shorg will score from third, or maybe a courtesy runner for him will score from third, and it's now 5-0 as the second baseman, Ben Hawk, had a great beat on it, but drops it, and so no RBI. So runners now at first and second. We go back to the top of the order, and Spencer Shorg, who doubled and scored earlier this inning. And the first pitch from Sam Hine, missing high for ball 1.
That courtesy runner was Alex Schrader, a freshman.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I keep forgetting. Well, it's like doing amateur baseball in South Dakota during the regular season. There's a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. There is a courtesy runner for the pitcher and the catcher during the regular season, but not in the playoffs.
Okay, not in the playoffs.
Not a courtesy runner for the pitcher.
Okay. Interesting.
1-1 pitch, bouncing at the plate. Ball 2, 2-1 the count to Spencer Shorg. Again, 2 out with 2 on, but 5 in. Remsen St. Mary's off to an excellent start offensively tonight. The 2-1, swing and a foul to the right and out of play. And now another round of 2s at 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on, 5 in. 5-0 Remsen St. Mary's here in the bottom of the first.
And Spencer Shorg would probably like to see his batting average go up a little bit. You know, talking with Dean Harpenow, Spencer said was kind of down on himself with his batting average. But, Coach Harpenow said, you're missing at least 50 at-bats by the time you get to the postseason with all the games that we've missed.
Yeah. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a bouncer to second. The force at second. Oh, that was a bang-bang play.
Very close.
But the side is retired. Levi Waldschmidt is out 4-6 to retire the side. That almost, I think Levi Waldschmidt was pert near safe, but the inning is over, and Remsen St. Mary's bats 10. They score 5 runs. They do it on 3 hits. There were 2 errors, and there were 2 left. So after one complete, 5-0 Remsen St. Mary's over Hartley Melvin Sanborn on Classic Hits KCHE and Fuller Digital Solutions.
My in-laws are dropping off my wife. She's just right up here. You'll be automatic. It'll go back on as soon as the commercial ends. I'm going to go grab her quick.
Oh, there's okay.
And is an
Gotcha.
area
Okay, thank you.
of eating out. Their unique menu offers a variety of selections to please even the most discriminate taste.
Huh?
Relax and enjoy your dining experience.
No, I don't.
The Golden Pheasant Restaurant, Highway 3 East, in Remsen.
A healthy body is something
Nope,
we all want to
I never got that.
And Dr. David Worth of Worth Chiropractic Center wants to help you maintain it. If your neck hurts, muscles ache, and your body feels out of whack, an adjustment might be in order. He offers full spine care with an emphasis on low back and leg pain and carpal tunnel syndrome.
Pardon me?
Give the folks at Worth Chiropractic Center in Marcus a call for evaluation and treatment. They're open Monday through Friday. Hours vary.
We go to the top of the second inning here in Remsen. Remsen St. Mary's with a 5-0 lead, and here comes the heart of the order for Hartley Melvin Sanborn. The cleanup batter, center fielder, Dawson Skipoff will stand in, right-handed hitter wearing number 99. On the season batting 172, no home runs, 3 RBIs. Hartley Melvin Sanborn is the team batting 181, no home runs, 20 RBIs coming in. There's a pitch for a strike from Carter Shorg, and the count is 1-1 strike. Cooper Ebel and Jordan Ortega. Again, 4, 5, and 6, the heart of the order for HMS here. There's a swing and a miss by Skipoff, and the count is 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and there's one away. Strikeout number 2 for Carter Shorg of Remsen St. Mary's. 1 up and 1 down in the HMS second for the number 5 batter, the catcher Cooper Ebel, a right-handed hitter wearing number 1. Cooper batting 129 with no home runs, no RBIs. 5-0 Remsen St. Mary's here in the top of the second. And the pitch upstairs for ball 1.
Carter, for a sophomore, does such a good job. He's always in and around the strike zone. For a sophomore, throws a lot of strikes.
1-0 the count and the pitch. There's a strike, and it's 1-1 strike. Again, Galen Catholic beat South O'Brien in the first game of the doubleheader here in Remsen on Classic Hits, KCHE, and Fuller Digital Solutions, 12-7. There's a strike, and it's 1-2. Yeah, some good young players on this Remsen St. Mary squad that is just ingrained in tradition. So, obviously, the tradition continues. Here's a pitch high and inside, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You know, you look at their pitching staff next year, they're going to have Blaine Harpenaugh back, Carter Shorg, also Jackson Bunker's just a freshman, Isaiah Garrett's his pitch, Cale Ortman.
And a swing and a miss, strike 3. Keith for out number 2. 3 strikeouts in the game now for Carter Shorg, and it brings up Jordan Ortega, the number 6 batter, the left fielder, right-handed hitter wearing number 23, batting 200 with no home runs, 1 RBI.
So as I was saying, yeah, just a lot of arms going to be back next year for St. Mary's, but they want to finish this year strong.
There's a swing and a miss by Ortega for strike 1. If Ortega should find a place to put it, Trenton Bowling, the designated hitter, waiting on deck. The 0-1, swing and a miss.
Fooled him on that outside pitch.
Yep. Quickly 0-2.
St. Mary's pitchers, doesn't matter who's on the mound, they do such a good job of really switching up their pitches and keeping the batters really on their toes.
So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on. 5-0 Remsen St. Mary's in the second in the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And if you remember Minnesota Twins broadcast, that is a snapper, mow 'em down inning. So nothing across for Hartley Melvin Sanborn here in the top of the second inning. We go to the bottom of the second with Remsen St. Mary's leading 5-0 on Classic Hits KCHE and Fuller Digital Solutions.
Hospitals and health systems play a vital role in the well-being of their communities. I'm Marty Guthmiller, CEO of Orange City Area Health System, Patient safety is our first priority. When combined with skilled staff and essential services, we provide exceptional opportunities to improve your overall health and wellness. From important screenings to diabetes and cardiovascular care, from behavioral health to prenatal and pediatric medicine.
Is there a way you can text Simon to ask who the sponsors are so I can mention them?
Place at the right time.
You're welcome to stop in the Connor's Lounge on Main in Remsen under new management.
Because I'd hate to be in a shutout.
They have changed things up a bit, so come see what's new. While you're in, enjoy specialty drinks or your favorite beverage with full bar available. Then choose from their many delicious appetizers. Sit back, relax, and enjoy at Connor's Lounge, your hometown choice for a good time in Remsen.
We go to the bottom of the second inning here at Thielen Memorial Field in Remsen. Quarterfinals of the Class 1A District 1 baseball tournament, as Remsen St. Mary's here in the second will send up Blaine Harpenow, Skylar Walchman, and Jackson Bunkers, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Blaine popped up to the pitcher back in the first. He is 0 for 1. So Sam Hine getting ready for the bottom of the second. And the first pitch of the bottom of the second is low for ball 1.
Blaine, a very solid hitter at the plate, as much as he gets a lot of attention for pitching, but overall just a solid baseball player through and through.
Mm-hmm. The 1-0, a curve for a strike, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike.
His older brother Brady Harpenow, assistant coach, was the catcher of the 2016 state championship team.
Of course, head coach Dean Harpenow, a graduate of Mount Marty College in Yankton. And here's one right through the wicket of Nick Bronstad. And unfortunately, that is an error. That's error number 3 for Hartley Melvin Sanborn, and Sam Hine off the mound, a little frustrated there. And here comes Skylar Waldschmidt, the catcher, who walked and scored back in the first. No official at bat for Skylar.
We were talking about Brady Harpenow. His senior year, throughout the whole year, all the way to the state championship, struck out 1 time.
Not bad. And the pitch right down Broadway for strike 1. Dean also played a little amateur baseball in the Yankton area for a powerhouse team called the Old Milwaukee Brewers, who even had on their pitching staff a guy named Clayton Eno that made Double-A ball with the Dodgers.
Okay.
The guy could chuck, let's just say that.
So the Old Milwaukee Brewers, did they drink Old Milwaukee while they played or no?
Probably Old Mill Light for all we know. Yeah. Here's the 0-1 pitch with the runner going. Throw to second. Not in time. Stolen base for Blaine Harpenow. And the count to Skylar Waldschmidt is 1 ball and 1 strike.
And it's good to see Blaine out there, running full speed. And football suffered a hamstring injury in the game right before going to the Unidome. And then in basketball was hobbled up with an ankle injury. But it's safe to say I think he's 100% fully healthy.
Oh, yeah. The look at second by Hine in the pitch. In for a strike, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Skylar Waldschmidt. Jackson Bunkers, the St. Mary's Hawks right fielder, waiting on deck. 5-0 Remsen St. Mary's here in the bottom of the second. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a long, loud foul off to the left. It just about reached the street on the east side. And the count's still 1-2. Hine with the sign from Cooper Ebel. And the look at second and the pitch. Just missed low in the count 2-2. And the body language of Sam Hine says, come on, really? We're playing these guys. Come on.
Give me a call.
Yeah. Two pitch coming. Here it is. Swing and a drive. Left center field over the head of Jordan Ortega all the way to the wall for extra bases. Blaine Harpenow will come around and score to make it 6-0. Remsen St. Mary's on a double by Skylar Waldschmidt. Courtesy runner will be Noah Schrader, number 9, but an RBI double for Skylar Waldschmidt. And Remsen St. Mary's adds to their lead. It's now 6-0, still with nobody out in the second for Jackson Bunkers.
And a nice job there by Skylar, waiting back on that off-speed pitch and just driving it straight out to left field.
Bunker struck out swinging. He'll pop up here. Tough play. Right fielder Keith DeBoer can't make the catch. And the runners will stop at second and third. Now, you might have to help me, Keith. I was looking down to see who it was, the right fielder. Did he have a clean look at it? Or?
I think he did. He overran it, but...
Okay, so it'll fall in for a hit then. Well, for a double then.
Yeah, we'll give Jackson the double on that one. Why not?
Okay. Like we said, we're not the official book, but we try very hard. And here's Xavier Gallus. And here's a swing and a drive, center field. Dawson Skipoff will make the catch. Runner will tag, and it's 7-0 in favor of Remsen St. Mary's. Gallus will fly out to center for out number 1, but he'll get the sac RBI to score Noah Schrader from third to make it 7-0. Jackson Bunkers will stay at second. And here is Jeremy Koink. Koink singled and scored back in the first. He is 1 for 1. 7-0. St. Mary's here in the second. And the pitch. High for ball 1.
That breeze has kind of died down a little bit, Joe.
Oh, the sun is going down, though. I'm very excited about that.
We've been out here a long time.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
That first game seemed like it took about a week.
Yeah. The aloe vera is going to go on thick on the face tonight. Here's the 1-0, swing and a miss, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike to Jeremy Koink. Carter Shorg, the pitcher, waiting on deck.
You must not be a ball cap man.
Well, it's just uncomfortable sometimes to wear a headset with a cap. Especially with a baseball cap. Now, other caps, I've done that before. There's a pitch in for a strike, and it's 1-2 to Koink.
And it's all about having the right hat. Like this year, the hat I'm wearing is last year's Cherokee Braves hat. I got a new one. It's just not fit in yet. I haven't stretched it in quite yet, so I go with last year's.
You haven't manipulated the bill yet, have you? You have to manipulate the bill a little bit. It fits a little easier. Just take my word for it. Here's a pitch up high, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, that's what Captain 11 on Kelloland TV in Sioux Falls always mentioned. When you get a new hat, you got to manipulate the bill.
You got to break it in.
You got to break it in.
I'm not much of a flat bill hat guy.
Okay.
I bend her in.
There you go. 2-2 pitch coming with 1 out and a runner at second. And there's a strike 3 call, 2 down. Jeremy Koink is the second strikeout victim for Sam Hine of HMS. 2 down in the St. Mary's second for Carter Shorg, who reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the first. He's 0 for 1. 7-0 Remsen St. Mary's over HMS here in Remsen. And the first pitch missing for ball 1. We're on Fuller Digital Solutions and Classic Hits 92.1 KCHE FM Cherokee. Along with Adam Morse from Fuller Digital Solutions, Keith Crane from KCHE. I'm Joe Van Gore from out of state.
Well, across the state lines.
Across the state line, yeah.
Now, you don't have to quarantine for 2 weeks when you go back. They lifted that rule, didn't they? If you go
yes, they did.
Yes,
they did. Here's a pitch missing for ball 2, 2-0 the count. I think the Big Sioux River kind of takes care of it every time they go back and forth, so yeah. The 2-0.
Good pitch.
In for a strike, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
I'd like to see Brady Homan on deck really get a hold of one. When it's his turn, of course, at the plate.
A long look at second by Hine. And the 2-1 pitch, a strike, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. So another round of twos. at 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, runner at second, and 2 in. 7-0 Remsen St. Mary's over Hartley Melvin Sanborn. 2-2 pitch, low ball 3, runner to third, and he's in there with a stolen base.
Jackson Bunkers.
Yep, Jackson Bunkers. That is, to our reckoning, the 3rd stolen base for St. Mary's tonight. Full count with first base open and a runner at third with 2 down. And the payoff pitch, swing and a pop-up right side, tough play, and it will fall in for a hit. Scoring from third is Bunkers. It's now 8-0 Remsen St. Mary's. A 2-out RBI bloop single to right by Carter Shorg, and here comes Alex Schrader to run for him. So here comes first baseman Brady Homan. You just may get your whisk, Keith. And Homan reached on an error in the first. He is 0 for 1.
I haven't seen a home run yet this year. I think.
Oh, you haven't? Okay.
I have not seen one.
That's the motivation.
I'm overdue, Joe.
All right. And the pitch. Runner going. And Alex Schrader running for Carter Shorg. Stolen base number 4. And the second this inning for Remsen St. Mary's, leading 8-0. 3 runs in here after 5 came in the bottom of the first in the pitch. Swing and a pop-up right side. And the second baseman, Ben Hawk, will make the catch, and that will retire the side, but not before Remsen St. Mary's extends their lead. They score 3 runs. They do it on 3 hits. There was 1 error, and there was 1 left on base. We go to the top of the third. It's Remsen St. Mary's over HMS 8-0 on KCHE Classic Hits and Fuller Digital Solutions.
HMS 0.
Happy Fiesta Healthcare Center in Remsen strives to provide a comfortable home away
I can
from
almost
home,
take off my sunglasses.
whether your needs are for long-term care or rehab the home. The staff is warm and caring, and
See how that looks.
enjoy living there. They also
too bright.
offer therapy and memory care. Trust, compassion, peace of mind. Caring is what they do best at Happy Fiesta Healthcare Center in Remsen.
Relief lives here. Chronic pain is a reality for many people. If you are one of them, time to do something about it. Joy Valley Pain Services is ready to help. We'll work with you to develop a personalized strategy to manage and reduce suffering. With this patient-centered approach, we can address your individual, physical, and emotional needs. It's our way for making your day-to-day better. Joy Valley Healthcare, your community, your health, your life.
We go to the top of the third inning here in Remsen. Remsen St. Mary's 8, Hartley Melvin Sanborn nothing. Here's a bunt try by Trenton Bolink, the DH, but he is promptly thrown out by Carter Shorg, 1-3 for out number 1. Trenton Bolink, the DH for HMS, right-handed hitter, wearing number 3, coming in batting 045, no home runs, no RBIs. Here comes the number 8 batter, the second baseman Ben Hawk. Right-handed hitter wearing number 14, and a swing and a miss, strike 1.
And sometimes when the bats aren't working early in the game, a couple innings in, you say, hey, let's try and lay it out a mutt and, maybe squeeze out a hit. Didn't work that time.
Hawk batting 071 with no home runs, 3 RBIs. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike on Ben with the number 9 hitter, Nick Bronstad, waiting on deck. Carter Shorg so far, 4 strikeouts. And the 1-1 pitch, swing and a pop-up and out of play. And the count 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Top of the third, Remsen St. Mary's 8, Hartley Melvin Sanborn nothing. Here's a swing and a long, loud foul. Might reach some fans way down the street.
Kind of a neat setting here. It's a Marv Thielen Memorial Field. Fans can take advantage of the sidewalk that goes down the left field line.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and there's 2 down. 5 strikeouts in the game for Carter Shorg of Remsen St. Mary's, and here comes the number 9 hitter, the third baseman, Nick Bronstad. Bronstad, a right-handed hitter wearing number 11. He is batting .077 with no home runs and no RBIs. So Hartley Melvin Sanborn once through the order here on this Saturday night. And the pitch in for a strike, and it's 0-1 to Bronstad.
The thing I like about these Remsen St. Mary's pitchers, it doesn't matter who's on the mound. They're just so mechanical. They get in such a rhythm.
0-1, strike, and it's quickly 0-2.
And if I'm the Hartley Melvin Sanborn coach, I'd say, maybe get up there in your at bat, let the pitcher come set and call time. Maybe just something to disrupt that.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on in the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 6 strikeouts as Carter Shorg has gone through the Hartley Melvin Sanborn order. 1-2-3, 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Remsen St. Mary's leading 8-0 from Classic Hits KCHE and Fuller Digital Solutions.
You need internet, TV, and phone at your home and business? You should buy it from a leader in the industry. West South Systems is on the cutting edge of today's latest technology. You pick your bundle. You need internet, TV, and phone? You need internet and phone only, or internet and TV only. Call West South Systems today to find the bundle that fits your needs. West South Systems is connecting you to the world. Find out more by calling them today or going to their website at westsouthsystems.com.
On quick stats, in past years, when we have played Central Heritage, lost 96 games in a row. I added it up one time.
KCHE Radio is proud to broadcast area team
and it was
they
got outscored like 1,200 to like 87 runs.
Good luck this season. KCHE Radio is there too.
We go to the bottom of the third inning here at Thielen Memorial Field, Remsen, Iowa, with Keith Crane from KCHE and with Adam Morse from Fuller Digital Solutions. I'm Joe Van Gore. Levi Waldschmidt, Spencer Shore, Blake Harpino, 9, 1, and 2 for the St. Mary's Hawks here in the bottom of the third inning. As Sam Hine will go to work on Levi Waldschmidt, reached on an error, forced at second for the last out of the Remsen St. Mary's first. He is 0 for 1. And the pitch, bouncing at the plate, ball 1. Spencer Shorg and Blake Harpenow to follow here for Remsen St. Mary's in the bottom of the third with an 8-0 St. Mary's lead. There's a pitch in for a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, starting about a half hour late, 31 minutes to be exact, as game number 1 between Galen Catholic and South O'Brien kind of turned into a marathon. Galen Catholic was leading 12-1 heading into the bottom of the 6th inning. They were not the home team, obviously, and with them comfortably ahead, you got to play guys.
Yep.
And unfortunately, 5 runs came across for South O'Brien in the bottom of the 6th. We had to play 7. There's a pitch in for a strike. Well, not we, they, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike.
It felt like we were out there, though.
Well, yeah. Sitting in the sun all that time.
Yes.
You're darn right. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a foul off to the left. Look out. Falls harmlessly, and it's 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes to Levi Waldschmidt, leading off the Remsen St. Mary's bottom of the third. The St. Mary's Hawks lead the HMS Hawks 8-0. Bouncing ball and a base hit into left field. Levi with a hit to lead off the bottom of the third. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits for Remsen St. Mary's. Here's the top of the order. And Spencer Shorg, who doubled and scored in the first, reached on a fielder's choice also in the first, as Remsen St. Mary's batted 10 and scored 5 in the bottom of the first. They scored 3 in the bottom of the second. That's where we're at 8-0. Hine from the stretch in the pitch. Swing and a sky-high pop-up. Who wants it? Second baseman Ben Hawk will give way to first baseman Sam Hawk. And there's one away as Short pops up to first base for out number 1. The St. Mary's third, and here's Blake Harpenow.
And Joe, you said, 7 hits now for the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. A couple of those have just kind of been bloopers, but for the most part, they've hit some hard balls right to the gaps.
They have. Blaine has popped up to the pitcher, reached on an error, and scored last inning. But, folks, if you were with us Wednesday night, well, I know that we had some technical difficulties going live, so we taped it, but Remsen St. Mary's did not get a hit in that game with Galen Catholic until the 6th inning.
Should be a good matchup again here, I believe, this next game on Tuesday.
Well, we'll announce that at the end of the game.
I guess that's true.
I can understand your excitement. Here's the 1-0. Missing for ball 2, 2-0 the count.
It's sports. Strange things can happen.
And they always do. I'm sorry, they often do.
Often do.
8-0 Remsen St. Mary's here in the bottom of the third. Runner at first with 1 out. And the count to Blaine Harpenow is 2-0. And Hine with the 2-0 pitch with the runner going. Pitch is low. And Levi Waldschmidt is at second with stolen base number 5 for the Hawks tonight. So 3 balls and no strikes to Harpenow. Skylar Waldschmidt, the catcher, waiting on deck. The 3-0 inside, ball 4. Now that is the second walk issued by Sam Hine of HMS, and it brings up Skylar Waldschmidt with 2 on and 1 out. Remsen St. Mary's leading 8-0. Skylar Waldschmidt has walked and scored. RBI double and a run scored in the second. So officially 1 for 1 with a run batted in and 2 runs scored out of the 8 that Remsen St. Mary's has. The check of the runners by Hine. And the pitch to Skylar in for a strike, and it's 0-1.
And nice job, after issuing that walk to come back out and throw a first pitch strike. That's important.
The 0-1. Breaking ball up high, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. So Levi Waldschmidt singled. He's at second. Spencer Short popped up to first. Blaine Harpenow, walked. So 2 on with 1 out in the pitch. Swing and a miss. He was looking to go to Highway 3 with that one, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I was just going to say the word to describe that swing was vicious.
Violent,
yes.
Violent, vicious. About the same thing, yeah. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a bouncer, and picked up by the second baseman. Throws and makes the play for the out. What a play by Ben Hawk as he tumbled. And he threw from sitting down to throw out Skylar Waldschmidt. 4-3 on the play. Hey, HMS fans, put a star beside that one. And there's 2 down, and here's Jackson Bunkers.
Nice play.
Oh, great play. Jackson Bunkers struck out swinging in the first, doubled, and scored in the second. 8-0 Remsen St. Mary's with a runner at second and third and 2 out. Swing and a foul by Jackson, and it's 0-1.
My in-laws were dropping my wife off here because we're headed to a birthday party after this, and they were parked just about where that foul ball landed. And I told them, I said, you guys need to move your truck unless you want to get a nice dent in it.
I've, and there's a strike, and it's 0-2. Well, the first time I did a softball game here that didn't get on, we won't explain why, I parked a block over. 0-2 pitch. Up high, 1-2, and it was a softball game, so there was kind of like a little lane between houses to walk to the field over at Sunrise Park. And but since then, I've been parking down at the end of the street. They seem to keep that space for me. I don't know why. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a drive. Base hit. 2 runs are going to score as Levi Waldschmidt will score from third. Blake Harpenow from second. A 2-out, 2-run single for Jackson Bunkers, who has a single, a double, 2 runs batted in, and a run scored. And here's Xavier Gallus. 10-0. Remsen St. Mary's here, still batting in the bottom of the third. The pitch, swing and a pop-up. Center fielder Dawson Skipoff has the beat on it, makes the catch, and that retires the side. Xavier Gallus flies to center for out number 3, but for the third straight inning, Remsen St. Mary's with runs, this time 2 on 3 hits in the inning, no errors, and there was 1 left on base. We go to the fourth, 10-0, Remsen St. Mary's from Classic Hits KCHE and Fuller Digital Solutions.
Fine food and fine dining combined when you dine at the Golden Pheasant Restaurant in Remsen. The Golden Pheasant has been serving the area for many years and is an area favorite when it comes to eating out. Their unique menu offers a variety of selections to please even the most discriminate taste. Relax and enjoy your dining experience tonight at the Golden Pheasant Restaurant, Highway 3 East in Remsen.
Orange City Area Health System is the right care at the right place at the right time. I'm Marty Gussmiller, CEO. From our emergency medical services to our home health, surgery, sports medicine, behavioral health, and birth care. From our walk-in clinic in Orange City to our integrated family medicine clinic in Orange City, Hospers, and Paulina. For skilled, safe, and essential services at all stages of life. Trust the award-winning Orange City Area Health System.
We go to the top of the fourth inning. Remsen St. Mary's leading Hartley Melvin Sanborn 10-0 in the playoffs. And there's a swing and a miss by Keaton Graves. Top of the order for HMS, Keaton Graves, Sam Hawk, Sam Hine to face Carter Shorg, who has 6 strikeouts so far. The 0-1, swing and a foul.
Uh-oh.
And it's 0-2. What is your car back there?
No, I just thought it was going to hit one.
Oh.
I parked clear over by the softball field tonight. I
Nope.
knew there wasn't a game over there, so I was safe.
Yeah. Good crowd on hand.
Yes.
Of course, with a doubleheader you are. And here's a pitch way up high, and the count is 1-2.
Just about hit Adam Morris.
Gosh, I would have had to run the computer, and that would have been interesting. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the leadoff batter, Keaton Graves, for HMS here in the top of the fourth. 10-0, Remsen St. Mary's, and the pitch. Swing and a bouncer foul outside of third.
That was a hard hit ball.
Yep. Just needed to straighten it out a little bit.
I think that's Xavier Gallus out in left field. Retrieved it.
Yes, he is. So still 1-2 to Keaton Graves. Sam Hawk, Sam Hine to follow here for HMS in the fourth. And pitch inside that Keaton had to kind of back away from, and the count leveled at 2-2. Two-two pitch. Swing and a foul back. And the count rides along at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
If that ball would have been about 3 feet to the left, it would have taken a 1 hop into the cab of a minivan, into the cabin, I guess. But hit the windshield, bounced off.
2-2 from Carter Shorg. Here's a swing and a bouncer. Charged by Levi Waldschmidt. Throw to first in time. And there's one away. Keaton Graves with a great battle against Shorg, but he is thrown out 4-3 for out number 1 of the HMS fourth. Here's Sam Hawk, who grounded out to short back in the first. He's 0 for 1.
And that took kind of a high bounce, and Waldschmidt had to charge in on it and get it out of his glove quickly, and a good transition and a nice hard throw to first to get that out.
So Hawk will face Shorg, and the first pitch missing for ball 1. In Des Moines, at what, Principal Park it's called?
Yes.
Turf or natural?
It is natural.
The 1-0. There's a strike. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, of course, Joe, because it's a AAA team. But that's the trend. High school fields, college fields, amateur baseball fields, all going to some kind of turf. Here's a fly ball by Hawk to center. Jeremy Koink will pull it in, and it's 2 down for the pitcher, Sam Hine, who grounded out to second to end the first. He is 0 for 1. And, they're more getting inventive. I think, a lot of places will completely turf the infield and the areas in front of the dugouts and leave the outfield with grass. There's a pitch for a strike, and it's 0-1. But nowadays, what I'm seeing is home plate, the mound, and the baselines all turf. They'll keep dirt on the infield. There's a pitch for a strike, and it's 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on. Top of the 4th, 10-0. Remsen St. Mary's over Hartley Melvin Sanborn. Short with the 0-2 pitch, and a weak swing, strike 3 called, and the inning is over. 7 strikeouts for Carter Shorg to retire the side with nothing across. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Remsen St. Mary's 10, Hartley Melvin Sanborn nothing on Classic Hits KCHE and Fuller Digital Solutions.
If I were a guessing man, which I am, I would guess we'll see some pinch hitters here.
Well, yeah, because
it's up a bit. So come see what's new. While you're in, enjoy specialty drinks.
How we doing, Adam? Thumbs up. Thumbs up for, okay, all right.
Choose from their many delicious appetizers. Sit back, relax, and enjoy at Connor's Lounge.
Now, aren't you kind of glad we made the move? Huh?
Happy Fiesta Healthcare Center.
Not bad. I might make Bob and Lamar's yet.
The last time Clay Central played here against Remsen St. Mary's in the tournaments, they batted around so many times in one inning. There was pinch hitters batting for pinch hitters. Only time in my broadcasting career I had to ask the kid on deck, who are you batting for? Because I got completely lost.
Healthcare Center in Remsen.
We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Remsen St. Mary's 10, Hartley Melvin Sanborn nothing. The winner to face Galen Catholic in the semifinals of the Class 1A District 1 baseball tournament Tuesday night here in Remsen at 7 o'clock. For Remsen St. Mary's, Jeremy Koink, Carter Shorg, and Brady Homan to face Sam Hine. Remsen St. Mary's baseball and softball from Fuller Digital Solution, brought to you by some fine sponsors. And the pitch by Hine. Here's a bouncing ball. Backhanded, no. Under the glove of Keaton Graves, and that will be a second single for Jeremy Koink. And that is now 10 hits in the game for Remsen St. Mary's. And it brings up Carter Short, pinch hitter.
Jake Anderson, a senior.
Jake Anderson, right-handed hitter, wearing number 11. He is batting .462. No home runs, 6 RBIs.
He's got some varsity time.
9 at bats so far this season. So Jake Anderson hitting for Carter Shorg. But I would expect to see Carter come out for the top of the 5th, and here's a pitch missing for ball 1.
And we'll thank those Fuller Digital Solutions sponsors, including Matt Ginn Insurance, Muller Carpet and Floor Covering, and EverTech.
That's why you have a color man, folks. He gets the live reads. Here's the throw over to first.
Got to keep me around for something.
Yeah, and the runner back.
And I brought cold water, too.
I appreciate that, yeah. I was, like I said, dragging Powerade from southeast South Dakota. It got a little warm. Yeah. The 1-0, swinging a drive, and passed or knocked down by the shortstop, Keaton Graves. Boy.
That's tough. That's tough.
Well, that would have been a tough play to make. Yeah, I mean, he did all he could just to knock it down, so I'd give Jake a hit.
He's batting over 500 now.
Yes, he is. Let's see. This is, Brady Homan. who reached on an error in the first, flew out to second in the second. Carter Shorg, before he gave way to Jake Anderson, had reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the first. RBI single in the second. 10-0 Remsen St. Mary's here in the bottom of the fourth. One on, nobody out. And the one-strike pitch to Homan coming from Hine, and here it is. Here's a bouncing ball to second. Here the throw is to first as shortstop Keaton Graves just kind of, it would have been a tailor-made double play. Keaton Graves, though, didn't break to the bag at second too fast, but Brady Homan is thrown out 4-3 for out number one. And here is another pinch hitter, number 30, Seth Nelson.
Brings up pinch hitter number 30.
Let's see how Seth's doing.
Seth Nelson.
This is his fifth at bat of the season. Let's just put it that way. So Seth Anderson batting for Levi Waldschmidt, and he'll take a strike, and it's 0-1.
Seth Nelson, a good kid, plays football, basketball, involved with everything here at St. Mary's.
So runners at second and third. Koink is at third. Shorg, or his courtesy runner, I'm sorry.
Jake Anderson.
No, I'm sorry. Jake Anderson running, or he batted for Carter Shorg. We'll get it right next week, folks. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Joe, I'm giving you a pass. It's been a long day in the sun.
Oh, gosh, no kidding. Here's a pop-up, and it will fall harmlessly, and it's still 1-2 to Seth Nelson, top of the order, and we'll have another pinch hitter, Damon Brownmiller, on deck. 10-0 Remsen St. Mary's over HMS here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 1 out, runners at second and third. Again, these two teams met Monday night in Hartley. St. Mary's with an 11-0 win in 5. Here's a drive to right field. Falls in for a base hit. 1 run will score. Runner will hold at third. Hey, Seth Nelson.
That's a good base knock.
Yeah, absolutely. A hit and a run batted in.
And you can put a ribby by his name.
Absolutely. It's 11-0 St. Mary's. As Jake Anderson will stop at third, and here's another pinch hitter, number 24, Damon Brownmiller, right-handed hitter wearing number 24. This is his second at bat, if I read this right. And
if we got our stats from the same place, we're correct.
I would think so.
Varsity Bound is a nice tool here.
Yes, it is. Just wish they had it in the state I live in. Or something similar. Well, there's a swing and a foul by by Brownmiller, and it's 0-1. A lot of teams in South Dakota rely on max preps.
Max preps?
Yep,
okay.
Yep.
Maybe, Joe, maybe there's our $1 million idea. We could start our own stat service for South Dakota. It'd be a lot of work.
Maybe have Simon and Gabe front the money, huh?
Yeah. We could get Adam Morris involved, too.
I don't know. Hy-Vee's a good gig.
That Morris, he's kind of a wild card anyways.
The 0-1. We kid because we care, Adam. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike.
Got to watch him.
Every second. The 1-1 pitch, low to Brownmiller, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Runners at the corners for St. Mary's, and an 11-0 lead here in the bottom of the fourth. Again, Damon Brownmiller batting for Spencer Shorg, who had doubled and scored, reached on a fielder's choice, and popped up to first. There's a bender for a strike, and it's 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runners at the corners, and 1 in. 11-0 Remsen St. Mary's here at Thielen Memorial Field in Remsen. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a bouncer. That's in for a base hit. That will score.
Jake Anderson.
Yep, Jake Anderson batting for Carter Shorg. And it's 12-0. RBI single for Brownmiller. And here comes another pinch hitter.
And, Coach,
nobody that I have a number for, though.
Jacob Britt would be number 34.
Okay.
And the man on deck, is that who you're looking for?
No, I was looking for Jacob because he wasn't listed as a sub. But Jacob Britt is, with 3 at-bats, is batting .667. No home runs, no RBIs, and we are going to have a pitching change. A break in the action here in the bottom of the 4th with 1 down, 1 on, and 2 in. It's Remsen St. Mary's leading HMS 12-0 on Classic Hits, KCHE, and Fuller Digital Solutions. 29.
I might take 2 commercials here.
Okay.
I mean, we're all right, but... Yeah, they just changed from Quick Stats to Varsity Bound. And Varsity Bound is... Quick Stats was easier to operate, but Varsity Bound is a lot more in depth. Can they get 3 runs in?
Possible.
KCHE Radio is proud to broadcast area team sports and activities. We know you've worked hard to reach your goals as a team. Good luck this season. From KCHE Radio in Cherokee.
All right, let's see. So we got, Hine went to short.
Okay.
Keaton Graves went to third. Nick Bronstad went to first, and Hawk into pitch.
Everybody just rotate one position to the left.
That's right. Yep.
Co-op Company of Remsen buys and sells grain and offers grain drying. The Farmers Co-op Company of Remsen, with years of experience and ready for the future. A healthy body is something we all want to keep, and Dr. David Worth of Worth Chiropractic Center wants to help you maintain it. If your neck hurts, muscles ache, and your body feels out of whack, an adjustment might be in order. He offers full spine care with an emphasis on low back and leg pain and carpal tunnel syndrome. Give the folks at Worth Chiropractic Center in Marcus a call for evaluation and treatment. They're open Monday through Friday. Hours vary.
All right, the new pitcher for HMS is Sam Hawk, who comes over from first. Right-handed throwing, number 29. Here's a swing and a pop-up by Jacob Britt. And look out below. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we mentioned, Britt, well, it says here, .667. No home runs, no RBIs.
Absolutely on fire.
On fire is right. So Sam Hawk, this is his 7th appearance. Here's a foul by Britt, and it's still 1-2. He's pitched 11 innings, an ERA of 18.45, 19 hits, 39 runs, 29 earned, 11 strikeouts, and 14 bases on balls. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jacob Britt. 1 out, runners at first and second. And 2 in. St. Mary's with a 12-0 lead, and there's a hit batsman.
They're going to say he didn't move to get out of the way. So I believe that's going to bring the count to 2-2 or 1-2.
Oh.
2-2.
Okay.
You have to make an attempt to move.
But I didn't expect it to go that low. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a high fly ball left field. Going back is Ortega, but he's got room. He will make the catch, and there's 2 down. So Jacob Britt batting for Blaine Harpenow, who had popped up to the pitcher, reached on an error and scored, and walked and scored. But Jacob Britt will fly to left for out number 2, and here is another pinch hitter, number 17, Jacob Garretts. Jacob, with only his 3rd at-bat this season. And the first pitch is a strike, and it's 0-1. So this is the 5th pinch hitter in this bottom of the 4th inning for Remsen St. Mary's, as Coach Dean Harpenow getting some players a crack at the bat. And there is,
I think it was a swing and a miss, strike 3.
Strike 3 called, and the inning is over. So in the inning, there was 2 runs on 1, 2, 3 hits in the inning, no errors, and there were 2 men left. We go to the 5th, and all of a sudden the last chance for Hartley Melvin Sanborn for their season. 12-0 Remsen St. Mary's on Classic Hits, KCHE, and Fuller Digital Solutions.
You need internet, TV, and phone at your home and business? You should buy it from a leader
New pitcher.
in the industry. West South
No, it is
Systems
Carter.
is on the cutting edge of today's latest technology.
Say his pitch count can't be very high.
You need internet,
Well, I guess he's got strikeouts, so he's...
internet and
Well-
phone only, or internet and TV only. Call West South Systems
Let's see how
today to
many.
find the bundle
1,
that
2,
fits
3,
your
4,
needs.
5,
West South
6.
Systems.
That's
Yeah.
not the story. I mean,
Yeah,
Find
yeah,
out more
yeah.
by calling in today or go
I get
to
what
their
you're throwing my way.
westsouthsystems.com.
Hospitals and health systems
Just 1
play a
minute.
vital role in the well-being
Yeah.
of their
Okay.
community.
Yeah, let's go, because
I'm Marty Duffmiller, CEO of Orange City
we
Area
got
Health
changes, so we'll try to catch up with them.
is our first priority. When combined with skilled staff and essential
Well, I think those are all just pinch hitters. I think everybody's
Everybody's still
still out there.
Okay.
and wellness.
Yeah, you're right.
From important screening,
It's usually what Dean does.
That's right.
vascular care,
I
from behavioral
keep forgetting
health,
you can do
prenatal,
that in high school
pediatric
baseball.
medicine. Orange City Area Health System offers
boy.
the right care at the right place at the right time.
Well, we go to the top of the 5th inning, and Hartley Melvin Sanborn's Dawson Skipoff to lead off the top of the 5th flies to center for out number 1 to Jeremy Koink. Before that, he struck out swinging in the 2nd. Here's the catcher, Cooper Ebel. Cooper struck out swinging in the 2nd. He's 0 for 1. 12-0 Remsen St. Mary's here in the top of the 5th, as HMS needs 3 runs to keep this game going. There's a swing and a miss, strike 1. Carter Shorg on the mound, 7 strikeouts.
Throwing a good game.
Absolutely. There's a swing and a miss, and quickly 0-2.
So 0-2 count. Do you maybe throw a curveball in front of the plate here?
So no balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on, and the pitch by Shorg, swing and a miss, strike 3, and there's 2 down. 8 strikeouts in the game for Carter Shorg, and now Hartley Melvin Sanborn down to their final out for the 2020 season. And here's Jordan Ortega. Struck out swinging in the 2nd. He's 0 for 1. The pitch by Carter, in for a strike, and it's 0-1. He is throwing pretty hard right now. He really wants to end this one in a hurry.
Right in the strike zone, too.
Yep. The 0-1 outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And that one did not miss by much. We're sitting almost directly behind home plate. That one looked kind of good from where we were sitting.
Yeah. So 1 ball and 1 strike, and the pitch to Ortega, swing and a miss, and 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on, top of the 5th. Remsen St. Mary's 12, and Hartley Melvin Sanborn nothing. Short looking to end it here, and the 1-2 pitch, swing and a bouncer to short. Harpenau's got it, and the throw to first in time. A 5-inning perfect game for Carter Shorg of Remsen St. Mary's. Jordan Ortega rounds out to short to end the game. And again, a 5-inning perfect game by Carter Shorg has Remsen St. Mary's advancing to the semifinals against Galen Catholic on Tuesday night at 7. We'll have that on
KCHE 92.1.
KCHE 92.1 and Fuller Digital Solutions. Thank you.
It's okay.
Game ends in 1 hour and 18 minutes. Again, the final is 12-0 Remsen St. Mary's. We'll be back to wrap things up after this from Classic Hits, KCHE, and Fuller Digital Solutions.
I got to play 3 minutes here to get all my breaks in.
perfect.
strives to
That's fine.
provide a comfortable home away from home.
I figured he was
whether
perfect.
your
I knew
needs
he.
are for long-term care or rehab the home.
Yep.
The staff is warm and caring, and
Let's see
residents
here. I
enjoy
had him
living
for
there. They
3
also
years.
offer therapy and
It's kind of funny we were talking about that earlier too.
Compassion, peace of mind. Caring is what they do best at Happy Fiesta Healthcare Center in Remsen. The Farmers Co-op Company of Remsen has been serving you for over a century. They are a full-service co-op, providing area livestock producers with land or lake feed. Take advantage of the full-service agronomy center, too, for all your crop production needs to maximize your yield. Farmers Co-op Company of Remsen buys and sells grain and offers grain drying. The Farmers Co-op Company
Okay,
of
so
Remsen
12
with
runs,
years of experience and ready
12
for
hits.
the future.
No errors. And 6 left on base. Winning pitcher, Carter Shorg. 5 inning, perfect game.
KCAC
with
Radio is proud to broadcast area
8
team
strikeouts.
sports and activities. We know you've worked hard to reach your
So
goals
1 hour
as a team.
and
Good
18
luck
minutes.
this season. From KCAC Radio.
The sad thing is Adam Morris almost had a perfect broadcast too, but his commercials wouldn't load.
That's not his fault.
No, that's on Simon.
Providing
I hope
area
so.
livestock producers with
Give him a
land
pay
or lake
cut.
feed. Take advantage of the full-service agronomy center, too, for all your crop production needs to maximize your yield. Farmers Co-op Company of Remsen buys and sells grain and offers grain drying. The Farmers Co-op Company of Remsen with years of experience and ready for the future.
Fine food and fine dining combined when you dine at the Golden Pheasant Restaurant in Remsen. The Golden Pheasant has been serving the area for many years and is an area favorite when it comes to eating out. Their unique menu offers a variety of selections to please even the most discriminate taste. Relax.
Put it down the back of your shirt, Adam.
Tonight at the Golden Pheasant
Told you this
Restaurant.
Morris character is a wild card.
Remsen.
You're welcome to stop in the Connor's Lounge on Main in Remsen under new management with the Congo Girls. They have changed things up a bit, so come see what's new. While you're in, enjoy.
At least that second game went a lot
specialty
quicker.
drinks or your favorite beverage with full bar available. Then choose from their many delicious appetizers.
With the natural
Sit
casings.
back, relax, and enjoy at Connor's Lounge, your hometown choice for good times in Remsen.
Back at Thielen Memorial Field in Remsen, Iowa, along with Keith Crane from Classic Hits KCHE and Adam Morris from Fuller Digital Solutions, Joe Van Gore, and Game 2 of our doubleheader only took 1 hour and 18 minutes. Well, these two teams played this past Monday in Hartley with Remsen St. Mary's beating Hartley Melvin Sanborn 11-0. This time 12-0 in 5 innings. But the big story, the 5-inning perfect game by Carter Shorg of Remsen St. Mary's as he went through the order 1.5 times, or 1 2/3 times, I should say, and retired everybody. And so that will put him in the record books, even though it's a 5-inning perfect game. These
Still
games
impressive.
go 7. That's still impressive, is right. For Hartley Melvin Sanborn, who will end their season at 2-11, no runs, no hits, 3 errors, and none left on base. The losing pitcher was the starting pitcher, Sam Hine. For Remsen St. Mary's now 16-0, 12 runs on 12 hits, no errors, 6 men left. The winning pitcher, Carter Shorg, again a 5-inning perfect game with 8 strikeouts. And up and down the lineup, Remsen St. Mary's got it done tonight. Spencer Shorg with a double and a run scored. Also, Damon Brownmiller had an RBI single. Blake Harpenow had a couple of runs scored. Skylar Waldschmidt had a double, a run batted in, and 2 runs scored. Jackson Bunkers had a single, a double, 2 runs batted in, and a run scored. Xavier Gallus had a single, 3 runs batted in, and a run scored. Jeremy Koink, 2 singles, 2 runs scored. Carter Shorg with a run scored and a run batted in. And Jake Anderson had a single and a run scored. Levi Waldschmidt in the game had a single and a run scored. And Seth Nelson had an RBI single as well. Now, let me see here. I may have to recount. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, I was right.
Hit the ball well.
Yep, I thought I missed one, but 12 runs on 12 hits, no errors, 6 left on base for Remsen St. Mary's. And Keith, before we go, quick summary of our first game of the doubleheader.
It was an early lead for Lamar's Galen, but South O'Brien was able to, kind of punch their way back into it a little bit. As South O'Brien was able to scratch across, 6 runs in the bottom half of the 6th to make the game interesting. But ultimately, Lamar's Galen held on to win that 12-7. So they will get the treat of coming back here next Tuesday and taking on Remsen St. Mary's.
And in the other side of the bracket, Keith, Trinity Christian beat MMCRU 6-2. That was in Akron. But the late game, Akron Westfield and George Little Rock, well, obviously we'll know by Tuesday for sure who's in the other semifinal. But Remsen St. Mary's, Galen Catholic, ought to be a good one on Tuesday.
So that'll wrap things up here. Thanks again for Joe Van Gore coming over. It was fun doing a couple games back-to-back there, and thanks to Adam Morris. So, that'll wrap things up here from Remsen. Keep it tuned.